Welcome to Camo's Mirror, the podcast where we look in the mirror at ourselves and the world around us. I'm your host, Camo, and I'm thrilled to have you join us today. Remember, while we're here to provide educational and informational content, you should always consult certified professionals for personalized advice. In today's episode, we're diving into a topic that affects everyone: turning criticism into fuel for growth. Criticism can sting, but what if every piece of criticism was a gift? We'll unpack how to transform negative feedback into your greatest tool for self-improvement. To help us navigate this subject, we have a special guest, an expert in personal development and growth strategies. Please welcome Solomon to Camo's Mirror.
Thank you, Camo. I'm excited to be here and to discuss this transformative topic with you and your listeners.
Solomon, let's jump right in. Criticism can feel like a personal attack, but you suggest it can be turned into fuel for growth. Can you elaborate on this idea?
Absolutely, Camo. Criticism, when approached with the right mindset, can indeed be a powerful tool for growth. Angela Duckworth, in her book, Grit, talks about the importance of perseverance and passion for long-term goals. One of the key components of grit is the ability to accept and learn from criticism. Instead of seeing criticism as a setback, we can view it as an opportunity to improve. James Clear, in Atomic Habits, emphasizes the power of small, incremental changes. He suggests that feedback, even negative, can help us refine our habits and make those small adjustments that lead to significant improvement over time.
That's a great point. In Outliers, Malcolm Gladwell introduces the 10,000-hour rule, which suggests that achieving mastery in any field requires at least 10,000 hours of practice. How does this concept relate to handling criticism?
The 10,000-hour rule is crucial here. Early in our journey towards mastery, we are bound to make mistakes and face criticism. Gladwell's research indicates that those who eventually become masters are not necessarily the most talented but the most persistent. They are the ones who can take criticism, learn from it, and continue practicing. It's about resilience and the long-term commitment to improvement. Embracing criticism as part of the learning process is essential. It's important to stay focused on the end goal and understand that criticism is a natural part of the journey.
I love that. It's about seeing the bigger picture and not getting bogged down by the bumps along the way. Let's talk about practical steps our listeners can take to turn criticism into growth. What strategies can you recommend?
One effective strategy is to reframe criticism. Instead of taking it personally, try to see it as a form of feedback. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Another strategy is to seek specific feedback. Often, general criticism can be more damaging than helpful. Ask for specifics so you know exactly what to work on. Additionally, it's important to cultivate a growth mindset, as Carol Dweck discusses in her book, Mindset: The New Psychology of Success. She explains that those with a growth mindset see challenges and criticism as opportunities to learn and grow, rather than as threats to their self-esteem.
Reframing criticism and seeking specifics can definitely help. How do we stay motivated, especially when the criticism feels overwhelming?
Staying motivated can be challenging, but having a clear vision of your goals can help. Remind yourself why you started and what you're working towards. Surround yourself with supportive people who encourage your growth. It's also helpful to take breaks and practice self-care. Sometimes, stepping back can give you the perspective you need to move forward. Lastly, remember that improvement is a marathon, not a sprint. Celebrate your small victories along the way.
Excellent advice, Solomon. Before we wrap up, can you share some examples of individuals who successfully turned criticism into a positive force in their lives?
Absolutely. An inspiring example is Joseph from the Bible. Joseph was criticized and envied by his own brothers, who went so far as to sell him into slavery. Despite facing numerous hardships and unjust treatment, Joseph remained resilient. He used each challenge as a learning experience, eventually rising to a position of power in Egypt. When a famine struck, Joseph's foresight and leadership saved many lives, including those of his brothers who had wronged him. He chose to forgive and help them, demonstrating incredible personal growth and the power of turning adversity into triumph.
That's a truly inspiring story. I'd like to delve a bit deeper into the story of Joseph. Solomon, can you explain how Joseph's experience with criticism and adversity played a role in his ultimate success, and how we can apply those lessons to our lives?
Certainly, Camo. Joseph's story is a profound example of resilience and turning adversity into an opportunity for growth. When Joseph was sold into slavery by his brothers, he could have easily succumbed to bitterness and despair. Instead, he maintained his integrity and worked diligently, which eventually led to his rise in Potiphar's house. Even when falsely accused and imprisoned, Joseph continued to exhibit a positive attitude and used his skills to interpret dreams, which eventually brought him to the attention of Pharaoh. Joseph's ability to see beyond his immediate circumstances and keep his eye on the bigger picture is a lesson for all of us. He didn't let criticism or setbacks define him. Instead, he used them as stepping stones to achieve greater things. This story teaches us the importance of maintaining a positive outlook and being persistent, no matter the challenges we face.
That's a powerful lesson. It shows how crucial it is to maintain a long-term perspective and not let immediate criticisms deter us. Let's touch on another aspect of dealing with criticism, the role of self-reflection and self-improvement. How can we effectively incorporate these into our lives?
Self-reflection is key to turning criticism into growth. Taking time to reflect on the feedback you receive allows you to analyze it objectively. Ask yourself, is there truth to this criticism, and how can I use this to improve? Setting aside regular time for self-reflection helps you to stay grounded and focused on your goals. Moreover, self-improvement is an ongoing process. It's about continuously seeking ways to develop your skills and knowledge. Reading books like Grit, Atomic Habits, and Mindset can provide valuable insights and strategies for personal growth. Additionally, seeking mentors or coaches who can provide constructive feedback and guidance can be immensely beneficial. They can offer a different perspective and help you stay accountable to your growth journey.
I couldn't agree more. Self-reflection and seeking continuous improvement are essential. Before we wrap up, Solomon, can you share a final piece of advice for our listeners on how to handle criticism and use it as a tool for growth?
My final piece of advice is to embrace a mindset of continuous learning and resilience. Understand that criticism is not an endpoint but a starting point for growth. Be open to feedback, even when it's difficult to hear, and use it to fuel your determination to improve. Surround yourself with positive influences, and remember that every great achievement is built on a foundation of perseverance and learning from setbacks. Stay focused on your goals and keep moving forward, no matter what.
Wise words, Solomon. Thank you for sharing your insights and practical advice on turning criticism into fuel for growth. It's been a pleasure having you on Camo's Mirror.
Thank you, Camo. It's been great discussing this important topic with you and your listeners.
And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Remember, every piece of criticism is an opportunity to grow. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, and consider leaving a review. Join us next time as we continue to explore the fascinating world of self-reflection and growth. Until then, keep looking in the mirror and striving for positive change. Take care.